Time to do it. You ready? Morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Stuart. Will you join us in our opening song, We Gather Here?
Wait, hold on a second. We are not gathering here yet.
Not yet. Hold on. Belay that order. We Gather Here was written by Tracy over here. It's been our go-to song here for quite a few months.
We love Tracy. It's an oldie. He wrote it 8 years ago.
Are we ready now?
Yeah, in a different life, right?
Yeah, he was just a babe. All right, here we go. Let's stand. I think we're going to do this new thing where we stand for our gathering song. That's nice.
One, two, three, four.
We gather here to come together, to raise our voices in harmony. We gather here to pray together, till we know we know is meant to be. We gather here, we gather here, we gather here, we gather here to create the world we know is meant to be. We gather here to come together, celebrate our love and joy We gather here for deep connection with fellow travelers who claim divinity. We gather here to count our blessings, to celebrate the love and joy of unity. We gather here, we gather here, we gather here, we gather here to create the world we know is meant to be. We gather here to come together, to celebrate the love and joy of unity. To celebrate the love and joy of unity. All right, that's it. Please be seated. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Unity of Stuart on this fine day. We are glad you are here. Welcome to everyone who is in the sanctuary and everyone who is on YouTube and Facebook. And let's see, on YouTube we probably have Jessica and Phil. Good morning. And we have Lana and Ellen. Ellen, you're not in the sanctuary today, are you? I don't think you are. And Pam, and good morning, everyone. On Facebook, let's see who allows themselves to be seen today. Doreen is on. Doreen is, she has been out on vacation, and we will see her next week. And we have Carol Ann, good morning, and Eileen. And hey, Nikki, how's it going? Former board member Nikki, and Linda Gammon, one of the Carolinas. Good morning, Linda. If you are watching us on Facebook, I've been curious as to where people are watching us from. Somebody mentioned to me, I forget who it was, that they have a friend in England who's been watching. And so if you're watching, let us know that you're here, and so we can see how far this teaching is reaching. All right, and welcome to all of you who are in the room. If you are a first-timer in the sanctuary and you feel comfortable in doing so, you could raise your hand so Chuck or Ricky can give you a welcome packet. Anybody in the sanctuary today for the first time? All right. Okay, so if you are in the sanctuary for the first time and haven't raised your hand and would like a welcome packet on the way out, please take one. And in that welcome packet is information about our Unity Church and about the larger Unity movement. There is a form in there. If you fill it out and take it back to the welcome podium, they will give you a gift, and that form will put you on our email mailing list, which is generally used for our weekly newsletter, so you can keep apprised of what's going on. There's also a prayer request form in there. If you fill that out and put it in our prayer box out in the foyer, it will be prayed over here by our prayer chaplains. And after they pray over it here, they will send it off to Silent Unity, and they will pray over it there for an additional 30 days. If you're online and you would like a welcome packet, you can email May at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she will be absolutely delighted to send you a welcome packet. What I want all of you to know, and everybody to know every Sunday, is that we are a positive path of, what does it say? Of spiritual living. And what that means is that we are progressive, we call ourselves progressive Christians. And having said that, we honor all paths to God. And so Jesus the Christ is our main teacher, and we know that every tradition has its powerful messages. So, I think that's it. We're glad you're here. We welcome everyone, no exceptions. Thank you for being the church. We are serving some snacks in the kitchen after service. Please come and join us for some coffee. And some of us sit on the patio after service. And what else? We're selling T-shirts. This is our T-shirt that has been donated by a generous member. And everything that we are selling now has become a de facto fundraiser for raising the roof, for getting our roof replaced sooner rather than later. So these T-shirts are $20, and you can pick one up as you leave and until they're gone. I don't think there's anything else I want to say about that. I think we're good. Okay. Today's prayer chaplains. They are here and ready to hold you in prayer. And I'm trying to see who's got their stole on. It's Lori. Lori is one of our new prayer chaplains, and she is on prayer chaplain duty this morning. If you have anything that you'd like prayer support with, a joy, a challenge, anything at all, Lori will be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. And alternatively, you can use those resources up there to reach out to us at prayer@unityofstuart.org and also the Silent Unity prayer line. Again, raising the roof. Is today the deadline for tickets? Yes. Today is the deadline to purchase tickets for our gala. We are not selling tickets at the door because that would be crazy making, not only for us, but for the caterer. And so today is the last day to buy tickets for the gala. However, it is not the last day to donate to raise the roof. So we will continue to talk about this until we have the between $50,000 and $60,000 that we need. Right now, I probably should have come up here with the number. I want to say we have about $22,000 for our roof. And as I said, we need more than double that. So we are going to keep on inviting and thinking about things to invite people to donate to that. All right, so raising the roof. Because, roofs are important in all of our lives, we are asking you to think about what's important in your life and who did you share a roof with, and think about creating and helping to raise our roof so we can be safe and sound in the coming years. A couple of other things. I set the basket deadline until Wednesday. If you have talked to us about donating a basket, we're asking for $100 value. We have a few baskets now. We could use some more. And any theme that you'd like. Somebody's doing a pet theme, I think. Somebody just dropped off a hair, beauty basket. I'm doing a Office Depot basket. Actually, it's an Amazon basket with office supplies and things. And a couple of other things that I can't remember off the top of my head. Say again? Gourmet olive oil. A wine basket, I think, is coming. So if there's something that you would like to donate, please see Lori. Lori, would you please stand so people can see? I know it's tough. It's tough to be seen. I hate to be seen. We'll work on that, Lori. All right, what else? Luminarias. We are also selling, what's that? We're also selling luminarias. that we're going to, our youth and family ministry kids are going to come and fill these with sand and light the lights, and they will grace our walkway on the night of the gala. They are $10 each, and the person does not have to be does not have to be dead. Doesn't have to be dead. Although everybody I bought one for is dead. But they don't have to be. Whoever you share a roof with, you can buy a luminaria for in memory or in celebration of them. In the back, in the seat backs, you'll see either green or blue envelopes, and you can just drop money in there. That's for the luminarias if you'd like to purchase one. And then at the after service, the luminaria bags will be out there, and then you can turn that envelope in and write the name of your loved one on the luminaria, and that will join the ones that we put outside. All right, I think I covered everything. And speaking of having a roof over your head, we are a supporting church to our local organization, Family Promise, which helps people who don't have a home. They house them in churches. We don't do that here because we don't have the facilities to house a family, but we are a supporting ministry, and we ask people to help provide food for families. So this family is going to be at Prince of Peace Lutheran Church, and they will need meals on 3 days. So you see that Friday, April 28th, Sunday the 30th, and May 5th. And we purchase the food or make some food and bring it to the Prince of Peace Lutheran Church anywhere between 5 and 6. So if you are interested in doing that, I invite you to see Roberta. Hi, Roberta, stand up, please. All right, so that's Roberta. She has a list. She has a little information sheet that if you'd like to take that, of course it has her information on it. You can give Roberta a call so we can help this beautiful family be fed. One more. Today, I don't know if we'll finish this today, if we have enough people to do this, but for the gala, all of these chairs need to be moved out of the sanctuary, beginning today and into next week, if we can, into this coming week, because they're going to transform this sanctuary into our gala space. And so all of these chairs need to at least begin going into our classroom. So if you can stay around after service and help us move some chairs, that would be wonderful, and thank you in advance. We need to keep the first 2 rows for a class Monday night, and they will move the extra chairs out into the classroom. And join me in a deep breath, if you would, as we move to our dedication. And our dedication is today to knowing that we are more than this. We are more than our bodies, and I'll give you a little preview of today's teaching. But we are more than this. We are more than what we see. So, and please join me in dedicating our service today to claiming who we truly are. One in spirit, I am unlimited. One in spirit, I am unlimited. Through my oneness with spirit, I know unlimited living. The presence, power, strength, and wisdom of God are without limitation. These divine gifts and so many more live inside me and are mine to use to create my life. A storehouse of divine ideas is available to me in prayer. In the sacred silence, I claim these ideas and affirm peace, plenty, wholeness, and energy. There is no limit to the spiritual riches I can draw upon, no limit to the wonderful things I can do and be. I am richly and fully alive. I believe in possibility and approach each day eagerly, ready to make the most of it. I live gratefully, thankful for the goodness of God, and my unlimited capacity to express it as only I can. And from Ephesians, with the eyes of your heart enlightened, you may know what is the immeasurable greatness of God's power for us who believe. And I invite us again into a deep breath, settling in, being open and receptive to what Spirit has for us today, what blessings are here. The blessings of love, of peace, of prosperity, of joy, of guidance, of unlimited divine ideas. And so it is. And let's affirm our affirmation together. One in spirit, I am unlimited. And again, that deep breath, anchoring this as we affirm it one more time together. One in spirit, I am unlimited. And so it is. Amen. We have joining us today for meditation. Is it the last time? For the last time before she goes back north to Connecticut is Cheryl Roby. And so as we prepare for Cheryl's meditation, let's sing.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Jude. And we're going to transition now into our time of meditation and contemplation. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Letting the air coming in and out of your nose and mouth relax you. With each breath becoming more and more calm, more and more grounded, more and more present in this moment. And check your posture. Be sure you're grounded. Your feet are touching the floor. Your back is as straight as is available to you. Let go of any worries, any anxieties, any to-dos on your list, just for these few moments. Let it all go. Release it to Spirit. And now I invite you to get in touch with your authentic self. And you can do that by connecting to your most loving self, remembering how that feels when you are that perfect version of yourself. Knowing that as your best self, your authentic self, you are courageous, powerful, fulfilled, and strong. Be okay with being at home with your best self. And I invite you to rest in the silence for a few moments, being in touch with the best you, the authentic you, the true you. And as we have co-created this sacred space of loving, courageous, powerful, strong beings, I invite you to bring into your awareness all those on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all those who are in your mind and your heart this morning. If you like, whisper their names into this holy space. And now we release our prayers into the love, the light, the purity, the care, and the keeping of the indwelling Christ consciousness. Namaste.
Yay!
Back by popular demand. Here.
My knee shoulder.
Right. Your shoulder is healed.
Doing really good with my shoulder. It's already healed. This is a song by John Stringer, who is a New Thought spiritual guy that lives in Georgia. And he does a lot of work with Center for Spiritual Living and with Unity. But he's really cool. I love him. When your soul feels a passion, rises up in the magic. When your joy overflows and you're filled with compassion, that's love. That's love. What you see and what you learn is not the ultimate concern. What you choose to think and be, feel the truth that sets you free. That's love. That's love. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out the way. Let your night turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul. What moves your soul. That's love. Oh yeah, that's love. When you offer forgiveness and let go of resistance, when you seek to understand and you lend a helping hand, that's love, yeah. Allow it to flow. Go ahead and get out the way. Let your night turn into day. Allow love to take control. It's about what moves your soul. What moves your soul. All right. That's love. Oh yeah, that's love. Whoa. It's a reason for living, yeah. It's why you deserve it all. It's receiving, it's giving. Listen now. Can you hear the call? That's love. That's love. Yeah, that's love. Allow it to flow. Thank you very much. That's love.
That's love. All right. Let's see. We have one person that said good morning from where they were, and that's Judy Cherubini. Hi, Judy. That used to be what I was called, with the same spelling and everything. You'll hear a little bit more about that later. And let's see, anybody else say they were geographically? New York. Carol Ann's from New York. What? What does that mean? And I know Kenny didn't say he's from Ohio, but Kenny's from Ohio. Taryn didn't say she's from Colorado, but she's from Colorado. And let's see, Jill and Susan from Vermont. She didn't say Vermont, but I know she is. And Barb. And Doreen said, great job, Jen, band and choir. All right. So this month, we have been talking about taking the sacred walk in source-based living, which I alternatively called God-based living, Christ-based living. And the gist, the foundation of the teaching is that every moment, in every single moment of our lives, we have a choice where we're going to live from. If we're going to live from Christ consciousness, source, or we're going to live from what is going on in the outer, right? What is going on in the outer? So we have that choice. Condition-based living is outer-directed. Everything outside of us is what's ruling our lives, and maybe ruining our lives, excuse me, I forgot. Believing when we're living on a condition-based basis, we're letting the outer define who we are and what we're capable of, of achieving, believing that others are responsible for our experience. And as I said last week, I lived there for quite a bit. Maybe you have too, and maybe someone within the sound of my voice is living there now. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here, because this lesson is about remembering who we truly are at depth, one in spirit, and living from that. Because source-based living, living from spirit, is inner-directed. We talk about this a lot, that it's an inside job. And the inside job is living from the space of knowing that there's something greater than meets the eye. Realizing that the very essence of life itself breathes us, and that the creative source of all created us out of itself, and therefore that's where we live, move, and have our being. And depending upon how we look at life, through the filter of conditions or unfiltered, straight from source, we then have our experiences. Right? We see the world as we are, not as it is. We see the world as we are. So we're taking that walk this month. And every week we're building on the week before. And we have been creating an altar. And I hope you all have been creating an altar as well. Everybody gets something every week. And so far we have added rose petals, a stone, and the Buddha half smile. If you want to know what all those are about, check out the lessons online. And for those of you who weren't here this week and would like to pick up one of the Buddha half smile pictures, there's a few of them left on the way out. You can get that. So we'll add another symbol today, and the sunflower, and we'll talk about that in a little while. So last week, I talked about the outer circumstances of our lives. What do we do where do we go when bad things happen? And today I want to get up close and personal and talk about, who do you think you are? Not like, who do you think you are? Not that. It's, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? What do you operate from? Do you identify with your personality and emotions? That's the condition-based self. Or are you truly awake to your source-based self? Do you know where God lives? Sunday school teacher asked her class one day if anyone knew where God lives. And one day the teacher asked the class where they thought. And one little girl raised her hand, and the teacher called upon her, and she said, I think God lives in the sky because that's where heaven is. And the teacher said, that's good. And another little boy raised his hand, and the teacher called him in, and she said, where do you think God lives? And he said very piously, God lives in our hearts. She says, that's very good. And when she asked a third time, little Johnny was the only one who raised his hand, Quietly dreading his answer because she knew little Johnny, the teacher asked, "And where do you think God lives, Johnny?" And Johnny said, "In the bathroom." "In the bathroom?" she asked, puzzled and unable to stop herself. And the little boy says, "Yes, because every morning my father beats on the door and says, 'Dear God, are you still in there?'" And we know God lives in, through, and as us. God lives in, through, and as us. There is something greater than what we see, what we feel, what we experience in the human condition. And I'm a stand for that evolutionary urge, moving out from me to you, moving from you to me, that evolutionary urge to be one in God, to live my life in that basis so that in every moment, in every experience, I know that I'm coming from Spirit. Simple, and it's a practice. It's a practice, and we do have to practice. The truth is, you are coming into the awareness, coming forth of God consciousness in the world. You are. Sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we remember it. But we're moving, each one of us, within the sound of my voice, is moving from being stuck in that human condition and that human expression into God-based expression in life. If you are here, that's what you're about. Whether we really know it at depth or not, we're about moving from what seems to be the truth to the actual truth, to the reality that God lives, moves, and has its being as us. So that's the truth. But my guess is that that's not the concept that gets the majority of our attention when we're in it, right? Even when we say we believe it to be true, and so we forget it a lot, and I'll own that myself. I think we spend a large majority of our time thinking about the physical, tangible aspects of ourselves, and then trying to manipulate, control, cajole, coerce the physical world into being what we want it to be so that we're comfortable. Instead of having the perspective that we're the coming forth of God into expression in our lives. I'm reading this book with a group right now. It's called The Awakened Brain by Lisa Miller, and it's the new science of spirituality and our quest for an inspired life. And this past week's reading, she was talking about achieving awareness and awakened awareness. And I want to share a little bit of this with you. Now, she's a PhD who spent a lot of time researching brain activity, primarily started about how to overcome depression, how to move through depression, and then kind of just, along with that, she did a lot of research and study into what does spirituality look like in the brain, right? What does it look like? So she says, achieving awareness is the perception that our purpose is to organize and control our lives. When we live through our achieving awareness, our foundational concern is how can I get and keep what I want? This mode is useful, she says, and often necessary. It gives us the focused attention and commitment necessary to attain goals and enables us to direct our attention and energy into a particular task, to study for an exam, complete a project, get some place on time, and to practice a skill. It allows us the focused drive and undistracted execution we need to implement and achieve our goals. It's a highly necessary and helpful form of perception. But of course, we can overuse that. Anybody else overuse that? Right? And then what happens is we get sad, we get depressed, we experience anxiety, stress, and craving. However, when we engage our awakened awareness, we make use of different parts of our brain. And she says we literally see more, integrating information from multiple sources of perception. Instead of seeing ourselves as independent makers of our path, we perceive ourselves as seekers of our path. We look across a vast landscape and ask, what is life showing me now? What is life showing me now? This awakened awareness allows us to perceive more choices and opportunities available to us. It helps us feel more connected with others, understand the relationship between events in our lives, be more open to creative leaps and insights, and feel more in tune with our life's purpose and meaning. We'll still have the other things. We'll still be sad. Sometimes we'll still have trouble. And yet the goal is to live from this awakened awareness or source-based living. So this is a good, really, really good book, The Awakened Brain. So what we're about then is letting that awakened awareness lead the way. Yeah, we will dip into our achieving awareness and letting the awakened awareness guide us and be the first thing. All right, so how do we do that? Well, I'm going to start with talking about all the things we aren't. What are the things that we aren't, right? So for the first question I have is, who or what do you identify with? When you think about who you are, what do you think? Your history? Your personal identification? Your career? Your status? Your accomplishments? Your successes or failures? Your relationships? We carry these things around in a metaphorical bag, right? We carry them around on our shoulder. And it can really weigh us down and keep us from being that expression of God, living from that source-based consciousness. So here's some things that we are not. We are not our personal history. You are not your personal history. That sounds maybe like a radical idea, but consider the possibility of removing your personal history from your consciousness and simply living in the present moment. Well, the first thing that might come into your mind is, that's impossible. How could I do that? I have a memory. I know what my past was like. It would be ridiculous to pretend that my past that I'm not a product of my past. Yes, so that's true. To a large extent, we're products of our past. But our basic self, our foundational self, our God self, our divine self is not affected by the past. In every single one of us, there's this beautiful innocence that has never been touched. It may have been covered up, by our lives, by things that we have done, but it has never been touched. It is at the core of us, bright and shining. And what's ours to do is remember that and plug into that. Jesus the Christ tells us that we must be born again. Now, for some of us who grew up in traditional Christianity or in evangelical Christianity, that might be a little bit of a trigger. But hear this. To be born again is to have a new perspective. In the Gospel of John, Jesus said, unless one is born again, they will not see the kingdom of God. Two things about that statement. The kingdom of God is not something far off. It's right here and right now. We make the kingdom of God as we do this work and we remember who we are. Being born again, it means releasing the past and living in the present. Living in the knowing that we live, move, and have our being in God, in spirit, in the infinite divine, in higher power. So talking about living in the present, I'm not suggesting that it's easy to let go of the past. It takes concerted attention and having that awakened awareness. But the reality is, when we're living in the past, when we're hanging out in the past, maybe our feelings of unworthiness, our inadequacy, living inside of our failures, is as if we're trying to climb a ladder with cement blocks hanging off us. We're loaded down, we're off balance, and we cannot make progress. Or if we do, it's sometimes 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, right? So the first thing to discover this morning is you are not your past. You are more than this. So here's the first of our affirmations. I am not my past. I am more than this. Say that with me if you would. I am not my past. I am more than this. Something else that you're not is your identity. We are not our identity. And even though, or we're not our name, and that's where my story will come in a moment, even though your name is the first response you probably give when someone asks who you aren't your name. You have a name, but it's simply a label that somebody gave you. It may have familial significance or some other significance, or it may not. But it's not who you are. So here's my story about my name. So my mom got pregnant with me when my older brother was 8 months old. And she already had 2 other older children. Now, she did not want to have this baby, me, so soon. And so the story I found out after my mom passed was that she did those things that women would do in the 50s to terminate a pregnancy. And when it became apparent that I was hanging on, she got very nervous. And she thought that she was raised Catholic. And she got very nervous that there would be something, I would be disabled in some way at my birth. She became fearful that she would be punished. And so she vowed that if I was healthy, she would name me after St. Jude. For those of you who grew up in Christianity, St. Jude is the saint of desperate cases and lost causes. So she named me Judith, right? And she only ever called me Judith when she was mad, right? So I was called Judy up till 2010. And I never liked that name. It never felt like me. It's like, oh, that's somebody else. That is not me. And so I tried to mitigate that a little bit when I was in 6th grade. I changed the spelling from J-U-D-Y to J-U-D-I, thinking, oh, that's something at least. And it was, but my name was still Judy. So it helped a bit. So I became Jude in 2010 when I was attending a retreat. And I had a session with one of the leaders of the retreat to just kind of, become more clear about what was mine to do and to be. I was co-leading a church with my then husband, and I just felt like there was something moving inside of me to really claim more of what felt like me. And so in that session, it came to me, well, if my mother named me after St. Jude, well, that's my name. Jude is my name. Like, why not just claim that I have a name that reflects my history, really. It reflects my history. And having said all that, changing my name from Judith to Judy to Jude doesn't change who I am at depth. It just reflects who I feel, what I feel about myself. It doesn't change who I am. Because our name is part of the image we project to the world, but it's not who we are. Anybody else in your life, anybody else in here ever changed their name? No? Anybody else change their name? Yeah? All right. Okay. So what do you mean? Like, what did you change it from? From? Valley. Okay. Your first name was Valley? All right. So we have Pat here, whose first name was Valley, and that's not me. Okay. That was her mother. And so we can change our names to reflect how we feel about ourselves, but it's not who we are. So next affirmation. I am not my name. I am more than this. Together, if you please. I am not my name. I am more than this. Yes. Amen? Number 3. You are not your body. You don't have a soul. C.S. Lewis said this. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. Just like your name, you have a body, but it is not you. Rather, your body is something you possess, something you have. Of course, the words that you have probably heard many times from Teilhard de Chardin, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And our bodies reflect our human experience. We are taught that our appearance says a lot about us, right? Most of us were taught just through osmosis and maybe directly from those who raised us. We were taught to like look in the mirror, to worry about our posture, to worry about our physique, to worry about our skin, the absence or presence of hair, our weight, our height, and so on. So much so that this is a billion-dollar business, right? Cosmetic, diet, and clothing industries. I've done my share of financing those industries. How about you? Yeah. I know, and for those of us who are, not spring chickens anymore, I see all these lots of ads about women over 60. Here's what you can do. Here's how you should dress. Here's the products you should use, right? And it's just that billion-dollar industry that tries to tap into our feelings of not enoughness. We need to be better, look younger, be stronger. Well, it's always good to be stronger, but to look younger, always. And of course, we should take care and respect our bodies, because after all, that's what houses our spirit, right? The temple of the living God. Our bodies are that. So it's entitled to respect and to care. But we are more than our bodies. So say with me, me first. I respect my body, but I am not my body. I am more than this. I respect my body, but I am not my body. I am more than this. And guess what else we're not? We're not our intellect. And man, that got me. Right? We are not our intellect. Perhaps you as well. I got a lot of attention for being smart as I was growing up and I was in school. Got a lot of attention about that, about my intellect. And so it was hard for me to separate, like if I got a B on something instead of an A, that could be a disaster because I was taught that my intellect was what I was. So when we identify with that and we fail intellectually or academically, we think that makes a terrible statement who we are. Yes? So who you really are is not your mind, it's what's behind and underneath your mind. Michael Singer, who wrote, he wrote The Surrender Experiment, The Untethered Soul, he calls that the witness underneath, right? We are not our mind. It's that voice, that foundational voice, our Christ voice, that is the witness that knows, that sits in the center and knows. We are not our intellect. Next affirmation. I am not my intellect. I am more than this. Together. I am not my intellect. I am more than this. We are not our occupation. You are not your occupation. How many of us are defined by your little Freudian slip? How many of us are defined by our occupation? Yeah, right? The truth is, we are not. You are not an engineer. You are not a teacher. You are not a secretary. You are not a shopkeeper. I am not a minister. I am more than this. Our occupations are choices that we have made as our way to express ourselves while visiting this plane, while living our life on earth. And the more your position, your occupation defines who you are, the more difficult it is for you to know truth and freedom. Because what happens when that occupation goes away? Right? What happens when that occupation goes away? So think about this. If you are what you do, then when you don't, what are you? What are you when you stop doing that thing that you say you are, your occupation? Say what? Retired. You are more than this. You are more than retired. But that belief that we are our occupation causes problems for people when they retire, yes? Yes. So you are more than this. You know the drill. I am not my occupation. I am more than this. Together. I am not my occupation. I am more than this. How easy it is for a minister to get caught in that trap. I'll just say how easy it is for me. If the attendance and donations are up, I'm okay. If they are down, what does that say about me? Right? So, you are not your accomplishments. You are not your accomplishments. You are more than that. You know, I mean, and I have the things that I've accomplished on the wall in my office, right? I'm a minister, I'm this, I'm that, I've taken this training, I've taken that training. That's not who I am, even though it's up there to give me comfort and to give you comfort when you come in my office. What are her credentials, by the way? Not for nothing, right? So we are not our accomplishments, nor are we our failures. We are not defined by either one. So, I am not my accomplishments, nor my failures. I am more than this. Together. I am not my accomplishments, nor my failures. I am more than this. You are not your relationships. You know, I've been divorced twice. And the first time that I was divorcing, I was in another relationship like that. Like that. Like, thank you, next. Right? That's what it was like for me. Because I defined myself, part of how I defined myself was being a wife, being in a relationship. And so, right away, I was in another relationship. And so I was good, right? Because I was defined by my relationship. The second time, I said to God, okay, I'm going to be single. I'm going to be single until I no longer need to be single. I am not going to jump into another relationship because that was my history. Thank you, next, from when I was 14. That is not an exaggeration. I was always in a relationship. So when I divorced in 2017, I made a commitment to myself and with Spirit that I was going to take the time I needed to be alone and feel comfortable in being single and not feel less than in being single. And quite frankly, as a single woman of a certain age, it gets a little bit difficult to hold on to that, right? Everywhere we go, oh, you know, I'm going to be the single one. And yet, the gifts that I have gotten in this last almost 6 years now are immeasurable. That I can rely on myself and my friends, and I can get help, and I don't need that relationship to feel whole, yes? Right? Not that relationships aren't great. They are. They're great learning opportunities, right, if we can do it. But using our relationships to define who we are can bring great frustration. Because every time there's a glitch, I mean, I felt like a failure twice, right? Every time there's a glitch, we can go there. I can go there. We can feel worthless or like a failure, yes? But you are not your relationships. You are more than this. Say this with me. I am not my relationships. I am more than this. So, if you're not your history, if you're not your name, if you're not your body, if you're not your intellect, if you're not your job, if you're not your accomplishments or failures, and if you're not your relationship, then what the heck are you? What are you? You are what is left, the light, intangible you, the mystery of you. That's what you are. Ernest Holmes said, you are born of eternal day, and the spiritual sun shall never set upon the glory of the soul, for it is the coming forth of God into self-expression. Our consciousness of God, our Christ consciousness, is our real self, the absolute reality of who we are. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen master, said, who were you before you were born? That's who we are. That which we were before we were born, we are still that. Your identity in God, your identity in Source is more important than your identity in the world. So that's the only identity we can really trust. That's the only identity that is constant. So I invite you to remember you are more than this. You are more than this history, this identity, this body, this occupation, this accomplishment, this failure, this relationship. You're more than this because God is more than this. You are the coming forth of God into expression. Just take a breath into that for a moment. You are the coming forth of God into self-expression. And I believe I have a slide for this one. Together, if you please. I am a powerful expression of God. I am a being of light and love. Let's breathe into that. And affirm it one more time together. I am a powerful expression of God. I am a being of light and love. So, you each had the opportunity to receive a sunflower this morning. If you didn't receive it on the way in, please grab one on your way out. And I have added one to our altar this morning. And I invite you to allow this sunflower to remind you that just as the sunflower instinctually and continually turns toward the light, so too is that our calling. So too can we. Be like the sunflower, turning to spirit, turning to the light in every moment. You are a powerful expression of God, a being of light and love. This is who you are, family. This is who you are. And nothing in this physical condition, in this earthly life, can ever change that. Let's affirm one more time. I am a powerful expression of God. I am a being of light and love. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Namaste. All right. All right, so thank you. As we get ready for our celebration of abundance, we thank you for your continued love offerings, tithes, and gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers, and you can see how to do that in the seat backs. I would like everyone to know the impact that our consciousness makes in the world. So your gifts helps us further our teaching all over the place. It just goes from one to the next, to the next, to the next. So here are ways you can give to Unity of Stuart. I think they're in the comments. If they are not now, they are. So for you watching online, here's the way you can give. And you could also go to our website to donate to Raise the Roof at unityofstuart.org and click on Raise the Roof in the down menu, and you can donate there. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing.
We all give our gratitude and give thanks for the multitude. Blessings given every day that help us all along the way. We give thanks
Before I go into more announcements, so a bunch of people came on a little bit later. I want to say hi to Martha. Hi, Martha. I don't know where you're from. Taryn is on. Good morning, sweetie. And if Zeke and May are watching, my grandkids. Hi, Zeke. Yaya loves you. Hi, May May. Yaya loves you. Diane is watching. Jill. Jen, of course, is bilocating, so she's watching. Ann. Hey, Ann. Welcome. Glad you're here. I said hi to Susan. Hope is watching. Let's see. Don is also bilocating. Ronnie, Carol, Tracy, Sharon, Dawn. Hey, you. Good to see your name on the list. Rita, Sophie, bilocating. And Ronnie is watching from England. Hey, thank you. Hey, Ronnie. How's it going? All right. So, announcements. Cheryl will be here for the last, no. You'll be here next week. Cheryl's going to be offering Reiki somewhere around the back of the sanctuary. So if you want, she'll be hovering over there at the end of the service. We have a chili cook-off coming. And so we invite you to sign up to be a contestant and bring your best batch of chili on May 7th following service. And what that looks like is we'll have tickets that go in a basket in front of all the chilies, and whoever has the most tickets in the basket will be the chili cook-off winner, and we'll announce that the following weekend. There are prizes. And so come make some chili. I don't know, we only have like maybe 3 people signed up, maybe, I don't know. But sign up for chili. Even let it be the first time you make chili, if it hasn't. Maybe you'll win. And right after our chili cook-off, Doreen Pariba will be facilitating her soul writing with sacred sounds workshop. That's a 2-hour workshop. The love offering suggested donation is, I think, $15, and it is now. And so this is what Doreen wants you to know. She says, during this workshop, you'll... What? Okay. During this workshop, you'll learn how to tap into your intuition and access your imagination. You can also find answers to your most pressing questions while connecting with your higher self. So during this workshop, you'll be experiencing the relaxing sounds of Doreen's many instruments, which provides the perfect space for soul writing. Most importantly, Doreen stresses that you do not have to be a writer to participate. It can be practiced by anyone. So don't be turned off if you haven't really written anything. Bring a journal or a notebook and a pen. I think that's it. Reminder, if you can stay around and help move some chairs, that would be wonderful. And I see some kiddos out there, so let us stand as we sing our kiddos in. Hey. So, Hunter, could you move down over here? Everybody kind of scooch down, scooch, so people can see you more if you're not totally behind all the chairs. How's it going? Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? All right, tell us your name. It's good to see you. We haven't seen you.
My name is Layla, and what I want to share is I love being here because I like celebrating God.
You like celebrating God? Yeah. Good. Thank you, Layla. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Oh, okay.
I don't.
Tell everybody your name.
My name is Beatrice. I didn't really remember, but at the end it was really fun because we played freeze tag, animal freeze tag, and it was fun.
Played freeze tag? Did that have a spiritual component to it, freeze tag, or was that just fun, which is good?
That was just fun.
It was following our heart. So.
Okay.
All right. Oh, and before I just remembered this. So we read a book called Miranda, and it's about this girl Miranda. She is.
Composer, writes music?
She was like a composer or something, and she did piano, and she was really good at it. But she only played classical music. And then one day she was going home from something, And she was like, oh, what's that? Is that Boogie Woogie? Huh, that sounds cool. And then she went home and then she did Boogie Woogie. And she like stomped a bunch of random keys. And she played it for her family and they were like not supportive at all. They were like, we don't want to hear the Boogie Woogie in this. We want to only hear classical music. And so she was like, oh, bummer. And so she was like, you know what? I'm going to make my family happy, and I'm going to stop. I'm just going to do classical music. And then for the rest of some time, her class, her house was very, very quiet. It was like very quiet and awkward, and everybody just had to whisper in silence. And so her mom was like, break the silence. You can play Boogie Woogie now. And she was like, what about both?
All right.
And so she played. And so she played what her family wanted to her family, and then she did Boogie Woogie for herself.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
everybody needs self-care.
Did you hear that? Everybody needs self-care. Thank you, Beatrice. Okay. Anything? All right, I think that's good, yeah? We got a little mini lesson from Beatrice. I don't know Mama, I don't know if Beatrice is looking to become a minister, but my goodness. All right, she's got the spiritual lessons down. All right, let us stand as we bless our children. We invite you to hold our kiddos in your prayers during the week. And let's close with the prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing.